Hey guys, welcome back. I feel like it's been a minute since I've done a video. Just want to do a quick check-in. Weather's been crappy, work's been busy, stuff needs to be fixed on the boat. I fixed most of those items, and it's been dark and cold, so I haven't been able to get out in the water. So some things I've been working on is a rear transducer. I don't like just screwing hose in the boat, especially when those hose are gonna be in the water. And so one of the things I like to do is glue on a little pad and then screw the transducer to that pad. So that little pad, the temperature needs to be a certain degrees for it to hear properly on the boat. And so weather's been crappy, so I had a chance to glue that pad on. And so if you've watched some of my other videos, I like to graph around the lake a little bit before I fish. And so it's tough to do any graphing without a rear transducer, and so I haven't really been motivated to get out on the water. Now that the weather's better, I was able to glue on that pad, screw on my transducer, took the boat out, and noticed I was having weak battery signals to the transducer. You know, I have a Garmin Force, it's 24 volts. What was weird is that I felt like I was showing 24 volts with the voltmeter at the battery and at the trolling motor. When I probed it, it was showing anywhere from 22 to 25 volts. I also got similar readings on the Garmin Force remote, but when I stepped on the pedal, I noticed the battery indicator was turning yellow, then red, and all other good stuff. I was still able to get around the lake a little bit, but it was just annoying knowing that I wasn't getting full power, and I knew that something was wrong. And you know, it's just annoying. I didn't really have much confidence fishing. So the 2 times I went fishing out with a battery like that, it just didn't go well. I didn't really catch anything. Arrow did catch a fish one of the times we went out. And so at first I thought it was a battery charge issue. And so made sure the battery was charged well overnight and showed good voltage. Before I went out, I was like, all right, I think I got this thing fixed. And sure enough, as soon as I hit the pedal, I had similar problem. So super frustrating. So to fix that, what I did is I just bought brand new wiring. I bought 6-gauge marine wiring and ran it from the battery all the way up to the trolling motor, hardwired it, not using the Triton plug. I also moved the batteries from my aluminum boat to the Triton because I know those batteries are good. And then the way I had the aluminum boat set up is I just had one breaker. So I had a power wire from the trolling motor go into that breaker, from the breaker to the battery. So I only had that one breaker on my aluminum boat setup, and that worked well, and I knew that worked. And so I bought the same breaker, bought the same wire, moved the batteries over to the Triton, and did a exact same setup. I've been out on the boat once since I've done that, and everything seems to be working as it should, and so hopefully it stays that way. Another thing that I done was, you know, that rear plug-in port for your battery charger. Well, that port didn't have any wires to it, and so I had to run my extension cord in my in that back box. And when I closed that box, it was pinching my extension cord. I didn't like that, so I had to order a new little plug thing for the boat. So I had to remove the old plug, put the new plug in. Of course, that new plug was a little bit bigger. So I had to file away some of the old fiberglass, drill in some other holes, got that new plug in. Another thing that I did was tilt trim on the steering wheel. You know, this boat has a hot foot and it has the tilt trim on the handle, but one of the things I noticed is that when I'm driving, I want to have both hands on the steering wheel, and I really wanted to have the tilt trim on the steering wheel. And so I was able to install one from TH Marine. Like trying to do all these different mods, like the tilt trim, you know, moving my batteries around, messing around with the trolling motor, like all that stuff's really tough to do when it's like dark outside and cold and wet and not very motivating. And so I've just been slowly trying to do that when the weather is good. As you can see here, like we have a flashlight on and just like really trying to dig in, you know, to the work. And so every once in a while I'll get bored sitting around the couch and get motivated to go out there and mess around the boat. And so that's what I've been doing over the last couple of weeks, just slowly pilling around with this boat, try to get it in fishing conditions as spring is approaching. So with spring, there's a bunch of different bass tournaments going along. I think there's one going on today, anchored by Grace. saw a few videos and pictures, and man, looks like they have a great turnout. Decided not to fish that tournament because I have a few different things going on and wanted to spend some time with the family today. I am fishing in the what they call the Frostbite tournament tomorrow on Sunday with Clay from Cranks Pro. And so this is gonna be the first time fishing in a tournament as a boater. Chopped the Clay a little bit last night, got on Google Drive or Google Hangouts, developed a game plan, figured out where we wanna fish. And so we have an idea where we wanna start and what we wanna use. And then we'll adjust accordingly when we get there. But I think it's important to have some sort of game plan, and that way you can have something to start with, and if that doesn't work, you can pivot from it. So that's what we got going on in the fishing world. So that's what I've been up to. Work's been super busy, but we did a big launch this week. Glad to have that under my belt. Also had some other personal things going on. You know, we have a yellow lab that's mixed, and she's super old, just had her 14th birthday in January, and having some hip problems and getting old, and you can tell she was kind of struggling with life a little bit. And so been spending as much time with her and trying to make sure that she's comfortable, trying to let her make the most out of life, because I knew I didn't have much time with her left. And so we had to put her down, I want to say like a week or two ago now. And so I've been dealing with that, but all is well now. The sun is shining, the boat's running, trolling motor's working right. Now I just need to find some fish. These fish should be pushing up shallow, watching the water temperatures go up. And so excited for this new fishing season. If you're still watching, thank you for following along. If you followed up with me because you haven't seen any videos from me, I appreciate that. It's always good to hear from some of you all, whether it's phone, text, or Facebook messages. So keep the comments coming, guys. Hit that like button if you're still here. If you're new to the channel, I do a lot of fishing around Middle Tennessee. I'm actually going down to Pickwick, just booked the trip for Pickwick at the end of the month. And so looking forward to get out there for the first time. So if you like to see that type of stuff or want to follow along in some of my fishing tournament journeys, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed already. That's all I got, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.